It was October 2014 when I became pregnant with our third child. Due to severe scarring, we were told by our obstetrician that continuing with this pregnancy would give me an 85% mortality rate, and we were absolutely devastated. As we sat listening to the details of how I would die and how there was absolutely nothing that they could do to help me, I was already planning the trip in my head, because I knew when the doctor finished with this appointment it was most likely going to be the last time that I'd ever see her. We found a clinic in London and began our long and emotional journey a week later. We left our home in Ireland on a 7 a.m. flight, arriving in London at 8 a.m. and catching bus after bus after bus. We eventually arrived at the clinic where my husband sat waiting for 9 hours while nurses poked, prodded, scanned and gave me the first tablet. We were told to go home and return the next morning for the second tablet. The nurse told me I would have bad cramping for the night, and she wasn't wrong, it was horrific. The next morning, having returned with no sleep, it was then I received the second tablet and I was told to rest for 48 hours. Except I didn't have 48 hours. We had to go home to our children and we'd already spent £200 sterling on flights and £350 sterling on the procedure. So how could we afford to stay for 48 hours? 2 hours later we sat on a plane, we got home and continued our normal lives like nothing had ever happened. Our dirty little secret swept under the carpet. I was lucky though, I had my husband with me. We had the funds to go over and at least to get the procedure done, and we had an amazing team in the UK who helped us through it all at the clinic. This is not my story, obviously, but it could be yours, it could be your partner's, it could be your sister's, or it could be your friend's. I agreed to do this because, having travelled around Ireland for the past couple of months, I'm acutely aware that these heartbreaking stories are people's real life experiences, and they're actually lost in the debate about trusting politicians or not legislating for hard cases. Can anybody really blame this woman? She's not a hard case. She's a daughter of this country, and I actually think we're letting her down. I've had my own journey in accepting that abortion is sometimes necessary. And like most people, I don't like it. But I actually genuinely understand that abortion in Ireland must be safe and it must be supervised, and I absolutely trust doctors when they tell that to me. So let's be clear and dispel some of the myths that have been spoken about. Termination on the grounds of a disability will be absolutely illegal. Late-term abortions of healthy fetuses will be absolutely illegal, and to protect rape victims there will be a 12-week limit. So any woman who requests the termination will be given the options in a safe, non-judgmental environment in Ireland, and she will be asked to wait for 72 hours so that she can consider all of her options. No one in government wants or even believes that the floodgates will open. We believe that these measures, in conjunction with better sex education and free contraception, will reduce the number of terminations and the need for terminations. So I think it's time that we faced up to the unintended consequences of the 8th Amendment, and it's time to vote yes.